Hey, it's your favorite slightly hood therapist. And after much deliberation and some chit chats with a couple of people, I'm back for part three on the cheater. So, if you have never been in therapy, then you might not be as aware of this concept. If you have, then I'm hoping that you're aware of it. If you have not, here it is. The way we think affects the way we feel, affects our behavior. Okay? Thinking, feeling, doing. And this is universal, right? The only time you may not see something like this is if a person acts strictly and primarily off of impulse, which means that they would bypass the thinking and get right into feeling and doing. And that's not because they don't have the capacity to think, right? But their capacity to slow down and think has been altered in some way, whether that's because of alcohol or drugs, or because they didn't learn emotional regulation skills or distress tolerance, things that would allow them to clear that emotional fog and let those thoughts come through first. But primarily, this is how we are. The way we think affects the way we feel, and it affects our behavior, which is why it's so important for people to understand and have good insight about things, right? It's important to be aware of the things that we are exposed to, because it alters the way we think, which alters the way we feel, which alters our behavior. I don't know why my screen keep moving, but we're going to carry on. So, thinking, feeling, doing. How does that relate to cheating? When people tell you that they made a mistake because they were unfaithful, you didn't make a mistake. You made a series of bad choices. Because like I said in the other video, I think it was part one, nobody slips and falls on top of somebody and you just find yourself there and you can't get out of it and you don't know how to stop. It started a long time ago. Cheating starts in the mind. And it starts, sometimes with unbidden. Nobody, you might not even be looking to be unfaithful or to step outside of your relationship or your partnership. But you go through these motions of, thoughts of being unhappy, or thoughts of not getting your needs met with someone. Or maybe you don't think about those things. Maybe you just kind of go with the flow of what's happening in your partnership, and you don't even realize that you're lacking something until you are exposed to something else. So you see an attractive person, right? And visually you see this person and you think, oh, well, that's a nice looking person. And you start conversations with them. Or you might not even notice that you are that attracted to them. But it starts with conversations, and then it becomes this idea of, well, I just talked to them a little bit more. We're not, we hadn't crossed any lines. We're just having conversations. And then those conversations lead to more conversations. And then they lead to, well, let's hang out. Let's go to lunch. Then it leads to, well, let's see each other. And then before you know it, those feelings have developed, right? And the feelings that you have at the house have diminished more and more. And it doesn't even cross your mind that what's happening here is I'm acting purely off of feelings. I'm not thinking about what could happen if I get caught. And I have to tell the cheatee, the person who's been cheated on, all the time. And you guys are welcome to correct me in the comments, especially if you're a cheater or you've ever cheated, right? Because I don't want to just label people as cheaters. But if you've ever cheated, you can tell me in the comments. But there is no thought, if there is, it's minuscule. But there really is no thought of how bad I could hurt my partner if they found out what I was doing. How devastated and disappointed and hurt my children would be if our lifestyle was turned upside down. If me and their mom or their dad are no longer going to be together. You don't think about those things. And it's not because you don't have the capacity to, but you're not thinking about getting caught. You're thinking about having a good time. You're thinking about what goes with the good feelings. You don't think about what goes with the bad feelings. And nobody wants to. So even if those thoughts do come up, we tend to downplay those and stay in the feeling and get caught up in the doing. And then lies the problem. I'm bringing all this to the forefront because what we have to learn to do, especially in a society where everything now is just so microwave popcorn right now, I gotta get what I want, it's very impulse driven. We have to learn to slow down and think. Anything worth having is worth taking the time to get it and to get it effectively. So slow down and think and decide. Make good decisions based off of your thoughts, and then allow your feelings to come into play. And then your behaviors will be a lot better. Just some food for thought. Happy Thursday.